The Swingfire heater is the primary means of preheating Army vehicles prior to starting them in extreme cold weather. These vehicles have been specially adapted to use the Swingfire. The Swingfire preheats vehicle engine coolant, enabling the engine to start in temperatures as low as minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit. A commercial off-the-shelf product manufactured in Germany, Swingfire can also be used to warm vehicle components and to keep water from freezing in water trailers. The heater runs on leaded, unleaded, or aviation gasoline, but it will not run on diesel fuel. 12 or 24 volt DC current from a vehicle normally is used to start the heater. If the Swingfire is already hot, it will start without an external power source. Never start a heater that is inserted into a vehicle. Carbon monoxide exhaust fumes from the heater are extremely poisonous. Never start the Swingfire in an enclosed area or use it to heat the interior of a tent or vehicle. The carbon monoxide can kill you or others if it is not well ventilated. Let's look at operation of the Swingfire. After filling it with clean gasoline, tighten the fuel cap. Be extremely careful not to spill fuel on your clothing. Check the air shutoff valve by pushing the pressure pin in. The pin must bounce back. You should hear a metallic click. If you don't, turn it into organizational maintenance. Plug the connector end of the starting cable into the receptacle located on the vehicle. The other end of the cable is plugged into the hand pump lever. An ignition switch is located on top of the hand pump lever. Check the current flow by squeezing the handle lever to activate this switch. You should hear a distinct humming sound. If not, check the power source or the cable. Ensure that the fuel regulator is closed by turning the knob counterclockwise. Move the hand pump lever back and forth several times in a slow, firm, and regular manner. Pumping the lever too fast will flood the heater. If it's available, a handle from an unserviceable shovel will keep the ignition switch depressed and also make it easier to pump the Swingfire. In temperatures below zero, it will be necessary to depress the ignition switch on the lever for some time to activate the preheating plug before pumping fuel into the Swingfire. If the temperature is 0 to minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit, hold the switch in for 2 minutes before pumping. Minus 20 to minus 30 degrees requires 3 minutes. Minus 30 to minus 40 takes 4 minutes. And in minus 40 to minus 50 degrees, the switch must be depressed for at least 5 minutes. While continuing to pump with one hand, open the fuel regulator knob 1/2 to 1 full turn with your other hand. When the first pulsating sounds are heard, continue pumping and adjusting the fuel regulator until sounds come at regular intervals. Then stop pumping. The Swingfire is basically a small jet engine. The fuel regulator knob controls the fuel and air mixture. A warm heater requires less fuel than a cold one, so continue to fine-tune the fuel regulator for 3 to 5 minutes. If you move the pump lever too fast or open the regulator knob too wide, you will flood the heater, causing a white fog to come out of the pulsation pipe. You can usually restart the Swingfire by closing the regulator and pumping the lever until the surplus fuel has been blown out. If the heater has been flooded to the point where fuel overflows from the diaphragm valve into the mixing chamber, disconnect the cable and tilt the heater to the left, pointed downward. Pump the lever and let the fuel run out. Continue pumping until all excess fuel is blown out. Clean off the excess fuel and let the chamber dry out before restarting the Swingfire. If the heater stops after a long period of operation, it is probably either flooded or out of fuel. Always wait for the heater to cool before refueling it. Sometimes 10 to 15 pumps on a lever with the regulator valve closed will restart the heater if it is still hot. The power cable is not required, as heat from the chamber will ignite the fuel. The Swingfire can be used with many different Army vehicles that have heat exchangers installed for starting in extreme cold climates. They include 5-ton series trucks, Humvees, Cuckvees, and the small emplacement evacuator tractor, among others. Some vehicles require that a switch be turned on to start the engine coolant flowing between the engine and the heat exchanger, where the Swingfire warms the coolant for starting. In other vehicles, there is a thermal switch that is activated by the heater. Check your vehicle's technical manual for the location of the switch if one is installed. The time required to warm the coolant sufficiently to start the engine can be from a few minutes to more than an hour. It depends on the size of the engine and the outside temperature. The larger the engine and lower the temperature, the longer it will take. Before and after using the Swingfire in the field, there are 3 operator checks that must be done. Wipe off the control air shutoff valve with a clean rag to remove dirt and other material. Loosen the gas cap to relieve pressure, otherwise fuel could spray out when you open the fuel filter cap. Open the heater cover assembly, then take the filter out and blow air through it to clean it out. Fuel freezes faster in extreme cold, so remove your glove to prevent fuel saturation and work quickly with your bare hand. Always wipe your hands on a rag before you put your glove on again. Replace the fuel filter cap and finger tighten it. Close the heater cover assembly. Check the wing nut and thread of the quick change coupling. Remove the gasket. Inspect it before you install it. And replace it with a new one if it's worn or damaged. To prevent damage, when you finish using the Swingfire, the mixing pipe must always be installed over the heating element when the heater is not in use. Be sure it is completely cool before you touch it, so you won't get burned. Then tighten the wing nut to secure the mixing pipe. Organizational maintenance checks must be performed at least semi-annually. All fuel should have been drained before the operator turns the Swingfire in for maintenance. Be sure to follow the instructions in the manual when performing maintenance. Lubricate the pump push rod with grease that is suitable for extreme cold weather use. Pump it a few times to distribute the grease. Use the special tool wrench that is provided with the heater to remove the spark plug. Clean the plug with a fine steel brush. Use the feeler gauge attached to the ignition switch on the pump lever to check the gap in the spark plug. Adjust the gap if necessary. Check the control air shutoff valve and remove dirt and other material with a clean rag. This should be done by the operator before and after each operation of the Swingfire. Put on protective gloves. Clean the outside of the fuel tank with cleaning solvent. Always discard rags in a covered container if they have solvent, grease, or oil on them. Loosen the wing nut and open the cover assembly. Check all of the air valves and hoses for loose connections and tighten them if necessary. The diaphragm is located here. To remove the diaphragm valve, unscrew the wheel and remove it. Remove and inspect the diaphragm gasket. Pull the cotter pin out and disassemble the valve. Put on protective gloves. Clean all the parts in oil-free solvent. If the diaphragm membrane is worn or damaged, replace it. Inspect the new one to ensure that it's not damaged. Assemble the valve. And install the cover pin. After assembling the valve, install it and tighten the wheel on the shaft. The adjusting bracket should be set to the plus position. Disconnect the electrical lead from the preheating plug. Use the special tool wrench to loosen the plug. Remove it. Carefully clean the plug with a fine steel brush. Loosen the fuel cap to release pressure. Put on goggles and gloves. Unscrew the fuel filter cap. Take the filter out. And clean it by blowing compressed air through it. Remove and inspect the gasket. If it's worn or damaged, replace it. When you replace the fuel filter, be sure it fits tightly. Put the cap back on and hand tighten it. You loosened the gas cap earlier to relieve pressure. Snug it down now. Check the wing nut and thread of the quick change coupling as you loosen it. After removing the mixing pipe, remove the gasket. Replace the gasket if it's worn or damaged, as this one was. Inspect the new one before putting it on. Screw the special cleaning rod into the position where you removed the preheating plug from the mixing chamber. Keep turning the rod while moving it back and forth to scrape out carbon deposits. The Swingfire burns clean, so usually there will be very little carbon. You can look into the mixing chamber through the spark plug hole. Remove the cleaning tool and wipe it off. Install the preheater. Snug it down using the special tool. Refer to the manual when performing this task. Ground the preheater by attaching the wires. Close the cover. Connect the power cable. Ground the spark plug thread at the heater housing. If the vehicle is equipped with a circulating pump switch, turn it on. After current is applied, the plug will become warm in a few minutes if it's operating normally. When current is applied, you should see a bright blue spark at the spark plug gap. In this case, it's the wrong color. If you don't see a bright blue spark at the gap, or any spark at all, remove the power cable from the vehicle and replace the spark plug with a new one. Check the gap of the new one. Then, check the spark. Install the spark plug. Snug it down and hook up the spark plug lead cable. In a well-ventilated area, preferably outside, put gas in the gas tank. Plug in the power cable and start the heater to blow out any loose carbon that was scraped from the mixing chamber. In the field, if your heater will not start, check the Swingfire manual for a list of troubleshooting procedures. First, be sure the heater is getting power from your vehicle and that it has fuel. Some of the more common problems you can usually correct in the field. Remove the filter. Blow it out and replace it. Remember, fuel freezes quickly, so wipe your hands before you put your gloves back on. Perhaps the spark plug is clogged or damaged, or the electrode distance is set incorrectly. Check the gap with the Swingfire special tool on the hand pump lever and adjust it if necessary. If the heater sputters while running, continue to fine adjust the fuel mix with the fuel regulator knob. If it stops after a short time, the knob is probably too wide open, causing it to flood. Once the vehicle engine is running smoothly, loosen the quick change coupling wing nut and remove the heater. Turn off the Swingfire by closing the fuel regulator knob and let it cool completely. If there is a cover for the heat exchanger on the vehicle, be sure to replace it. When not in use, the Swingfire should always be stored with the mixing pipe installed over the heating element.
Sarge, look what I found without the cover. Look at the damage it does. Man, I don't believe these guys. How many times do we have to tell them to put the mixing tube on these things before they move them or before they move their vehicles? Boy, I'll tell you what, somebody's going to lose some money over this one. The lieutenant's going to really go after them. That thing's all bent up.
If the heater is not to be used again for at least 48 hours, let it cool off and remove the remaining gasoline from the fuel tank. Drain it into a clean gas can using a funnel and the special tool that comes with the Swingfire to hold the funnel in position. Remember to avoid getting fuel on your clothing. Never remove fuel from a heater until it is completely cool. remember, you are dealing with gasoline and an extremely hot piece of equipment. Safety is of utmost importance. The Swingfire heater is an important part of Army operations during extreme cold weather exercises. Without it, you would be unable to start your vehicle or keep water from freezing. The Swingfire is a piece of equipment vital to your survival in extreme cold weather. It must be kept in a good state of maintenance.